Today is the first day of the Persian New Year. The Islamic occupiers of Iran warn people not to celebrate, not to come out to cause trouble. The people of Iran decided to reject those threats. Despite pressure on them, the Iranian patriots decided to come out in rebellion against the Islamic Republic of Iran. Meanwhile, Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu sent out a direct message to the Iranian people. Hello everybody, welcome to 2CTV, your global news channel. I'm Maya Tusi and this is your latest news update, this time from Iran. Yes, today is the 20th of March, which means it's the first day of the Persian New Year. People across the country in Iran, of course across the world, have been celebrating this. Inside Iran, guess what? It's Ramadan. Not for the people, but imposed upon them by the Islamic occupiers. Ladies and gentlemen, despite the fact that the Iranian people don't want to follow these Islamic rules, the regime told them, you're not allowed to celebrate, you're not allowed to be proud of your heritage and your nationalism. The Iranian people have said enough is enough. We have a number of videos which we're going to show you from the scenes from today, especially cities like Shiraz, where a huge group of Iranians decided to come out, go to the historic sites, and of course the tomb of one of the historic poets, Hafiz, and others as well. This was in rebellion against the Islamic occupation. The security forces completely failed to control the crowd. We're going to show you some of the videos and the chants, because this was absolutely brilliant what we've been seeing. And we're going to show you the Happy New Year message from Netanyahu and of course the Crown Prince of Iran. The first video is the Iranian people chanting for Reza Pahlavi, the Crown Prince of Iran, and of course paying tribute to his father and grandfather, the last Shah. While in the Western world, the so-called liberal democracies, we are told that we have to respect Ramadan and pay tribute to those who do Ramadan. In Iran, people said, nope, we don't care. Some of the chants absolutely escalated. So this one was Reza Shah, rest in peace, and God bless your soul. And the next one, it escalated because, of course, the Iranian people, this is the whole uprising is a very nationalist uprising, patriots in Iran about their heritage and the land of Aryans. So in the next video, these are the Iranian people chanting, we are Aryans. Of course, Iranians are Aryans. That's the point of it. We are the Aryan race. We do not worship the Arabs. Watch. Every single one of these Iranians will be cancelled if they were in the West for chanting, we are Aryans, we do not worship the Arabs. Of course, they are referring to the Islamic occupiers who brought Islam from the Arab world into the land of the Aryans, and of course, they don't like it. Rightly so. The Iranian people never wanted any of this nonsense, and they have been forced onto them. So there was a lot of videos also came out. Again, this next one is also people paying tribute to the grandfather of the Crown Prince, the first king as part of the Pahlavi dynasty, Reza Shah, saying, Reza Shah, bless your soul. It's interesting. I don't think many people in the West actually appreciate how almost impossible it is for you to be in a country like Iran under Islamic occupation and decide to become brave enough to chant this, because you're not just going to get arrested, you're going to get killed. And also, women, one by one, took out their headscarves in rebellion. Again, you have to cover your hair, according to the morality police. But they once again said, we don't care anymore, we've had enough. When the whole point was they weren't allowed to do this, they weren't supposed to do this because it's Ramadan and it's the other thing that's going on with the Shia, something else, I forgot what it was, and which is in the middle of Ramadan, usually happens. It's a very holy month, so you're not allowed to actually focus on your actual Persian and Iranian heritage. But one of the main things is they have been oppressed for a long time. They know that the fall of the regime is coming. So when the Iranian regime are forcing their fake national anthem, which is very kind of Islamic Republic national anthem, these Iranian people are still singing the original national anthem, which was obviously under the constitutional monarchy that they used to have. So this is what they decided to do. It's called A Iran. Now, usually the security forces try to do the crackdown early on, and most of the time before people start posting things on social media. So every time there's something like this that happens, what they end up doing is they shut down the internet so that you're not able to actually post anything on social media, and then they do the crackdown. This time they failed. It was too late to shut down the internet. Everything was already out there. People could see the footage, and it was a huge crowd. It was almost impossible for the Iranian regime to go in and arrest them without a huge number of casualties. So, and they don't want more attention on them because there's a lot of pressure on Iran from obviously President Trump, Israel, and many others as well. And they can't. I mean, they will eventually, if this continues. Obviously, they're going to come out and do what they have to do, or what they think they have to do, which is to completely do a crackdown. Once again, this next chant, which again, this is all treasonous. It's all treason in Iran. It's chanting to bring back the king, which is Reza, the crown prince of Iran, Reza Shah. So they're chanting King Reza Pahlavi. And of course, the opposition, which is the Iranian people, are also gathering the troops, and of course rallying the troops and getting everybody to be prepared for the next few days and weeks to escalate this uprising. There's a lot of videos that's been collected from all the stuff that's been going on, and this is what they are sending out to show evidence that this is what we've been doing on the streets. The media is not showing it. We're going to show it. But this is exactly what's been going on in Iran. They are spreading, distributing this footage to essentially promote the uprising. Watch this. Yes, mosques being targeted, Islamic centers being targeted, ayatollahs and the clerics are being targeted. The uprising against Islam and the occupiers continues in Iran. And for these sort of things, it's about courage, and it's about when people lose everything and they've got nothing left to lose. They have to defend themselves. They have to come out and show the whole world that we don't care what you say, we will take our country back. Prime Minister Netanyahu is one of the few leaders who is actually continuing to be a massive ally to the Iranian people. He came out earlier tonight to send a direct message to the Iranians, supporting them in this uprising and sending a happy Persian New Year message.
Spring is approaching, and so is the Persian New Year. I would like to wish the Iranian people and Persians everywhere a happy Nowruz. I wish you health, happiness, prosperity, and most of all, I wish you freedom. I wish that this Nowruz will serve as a new beginning that overcomes all the hurdles and all the barriers that you have faced for too long. May this be a year of servat, prosperity. Prosperity when you, the people of Iran, can finally enjoy Iran's rich natural resources, those resources that have been so long denied to you by an oppressive regime. A year in which the rial will have real value. A year of amniyat, security, spiritual, economic, and physical security. A year of dosti, friendship with those who have your best interests at heart, and that includes my country, Israel. A year of omid, hope and optimism that lead to liberty. A year of iman, faith that you can have a better life. A year of azadi, freedom, real freedom. Freedom from oppression, freedom from want, freedom to live, freedom to choose. Chag Nowruz Sameach, happy Nowruz to all of you.
God bless Prime Minister Netanyahu. Now, of course, he wasn't the only one. The leader of the uprising and the opposition, the Crown Prince of Iran, Reza Pahlavi, who was recently on 2C TV for an exclusive interview, also sent out his New Year's message to the Iranian people with a message to the rest of the world as well. The revolution is here.
My dear friends around the world, today as Iranians celebrate Nowruz, the ancient Iranian New Year, we reflect on renewal, hope, and the promise of a brighter future. Nowruz means new day, symbolizing our people's timeless quest for freedom, peace, and prosperity. For the past 46 years, unable to celebrate Nowruz in my homeland, I have marked this occasion by addressing my compatriots in Iran. Today, however, given the historic opportunity ahead of not just Iran, but of humanity, I am taking this opportunity to speak to all of you across the world for the first time on this special day, to ask you to imagine an even greater renewal, a world without the Islamic Republic. Imagine the Middle East liberated from the shadow of nuclear blackmail and threats. Imagine our region without endless proxy wars, extremist ideologies, and terrorism, all driven by a regime whose policies have caused mass migration, instability, and suffering far beyond Iran's borders. Imagine a Western world free from hostage-taking and Western troops and taxpayers free of the burden of endless wars in far-off lands. Envision instead a free Iran, a nation contributing positively to regional stability, global security, and economic growth. Imagine international commerce flourishing securely through the Persian Gulf, with open trade routes benefiting every nation. Think of a Middle East where Iranian culture, innovation, and enterprise enrich and stabilize the region rather than destabilize it. For decades, the Islamic Republic under Ali Khamenei has falsely claimed to represent Iran and its ancient people. It holds no legitimacy, no mandate, and no rightful place in our history. Iranians overwhelmingly reject this regime and its dark vision. But there is another Iran. As a servant of the Iranian people, I am stepping forward to lead this historic change. I have a clear and actionable plan. Achieving it will be challenging, but my resolve is unwavering, and my confidence in the courage of my compatriots is absolute. Together, we can dismantle the Islamic Republic and end decades of global terror, blackmail, and hostage-taking. This new reality will profoundly benefit not only Iranians, but citizens everywhere, from the cities of America to the capitals of Europe, from Israel to the Arab world. Our success will mean peace, prosperity, and security for countless millions across the globe. Therefore, on behalf of millions of my compatriots who dream of the promising future they deserve, I extend our hand in friendship and partnership to our neighbors from Israel and the Arab states, to our steadfast allies in the West, including President Trump and the United States, and to leaders across Europe and the G7. I extend this hand of friendship in the hope that you will stand with the people of Iran and help us usher in this new day, this new era, in the interest of all of our peoples and nations. Today, on this Nowruz, let us seize this historic opportunity. Let us stand together decisively, not just to support Iranians, but to achieve this bold vision that can forever transform our world for the better. A free Iran is no longer a distant dream. It is a reality being forged today by the hands of its own people. The question is not whether Iran will be free, but which nations will be with us in the fight and make our victory sweeter. May this Nowruz mark the true dawn of peace, partnership, and freedom. Nowruz Piruz.
After 46 years, the Crown Prince of Iran, Reza Pahlavi, has finally, publicly and openly confirmed that he is now leading this revolution. While the King, in the United Kingdom of Great Britain and Northern Ireland, appease and of course panders to Islam, the Crown Prince of Iran is fighting against Islamism and the occupiers in the name of Muhammad. These guys, they're going out. It's not a matter of if, but when. With these people out there on the streets of Iran, we know that freedom will come. The last video we have from earlier today is Iranians saying, "This is our final battle and the king will return." Yes, Pahlavi will return. This is the final battle. Now, let's get some reaction from the live chats. We got Stu, thank you for your super chat, saying, no resistance, no Piruz, hope it's a beardy, weirdy free. Yes, Happy New Year to the Persians, and well, all Iranians, not just the Persians, of course, all the Iranians out there. Bill says Happy New Year. Misha says Muslims are the best of hypocrites, wanting Sharia for us infidels while complaining about Gaza and Zionism. Well, that's true. May Ezra bless and good peoples of Turkey. Oh yeah, let's not forget about Turkey. We're gonna come back later and actually tell you about what's going on in Turkey as the uprising in Turkey against Erdogan is also escalating. Good news, everybody. What a lovely day. Nina says, it's about time we all stood up to these bees. God bless the people of Iran. Of course, with the massive rise of Christianity in Iran as well. Let's not forget about that. Team Jesus. Why the UK and Europe is so afraid of calling out Islam? Because they are weak. Many Muslim countries banned hijab and niqab. UAE openly said there is a problem with Islam, but Europe thinks it's otherwise. Why so self-hatred? Shakespeare is respected everywhere. The answer is in the question. Self-hatred, white guilt. That's the problem with the West. Nina says, Happy New Year to you, my lovely boy, and to all Iranian people, and peace comes to them soon. Thank you so much, Nina Vanavana. We also have David or Davud saying King Reza Pahlavi. Yes, it's coming home, guys. Vinny says, humanity and Islam are not compatible. That is absolutely spot on. Thank you, Vinny. And John also says, I look forward to a new beginning in this new year, that the people of Iran may regain their freedom from the hideous Islamic terrorists. It's going to be a rough ride, and it will take time, obviously, but with the pressure now from the Crown Prince himself and his side, it will be very difficult because he's now becoming an idea in Iran. Once an idea is created, it cannot be killed. And this is the whole point. And when the time comes, and when the armed forces in Iran, which they will be forced to take sides, it's either the people or the IRGC. And I can assure you there will be enough of people in the army who will be taking the people's sides. And they have arms, they have weapons, and they will finish the job. It's simply about weakening the regime, and President Trump is obviously already on the case, and Netanyahu as well. Misha says, it won't surprise me if Libor of Ucalifat, that's Ucalifat, is planning to take the regime over to the UK by boat once Persia is free. It wouldn't put it past queer Stalin. Oh yeah, they're all going to come to Europe. That's the problem, right? See, not really. They're not going to come there. They're all going to go to Venezuela and Cuba. Cynthia says, imagine a world with Trump, Bibi, and Reza at the helm. This alliance alone could change the course of the world for the better. Absolutely. A lot of people have been talking about this for a long time, for the past 3-4 years. And we could actually see it now happening, slowly. Like it says, Iran, the land of Aryans. Yes, absolutely. The Aryans will take back control of their land. Alan says, it is refreshing to see people defying Islamic oppression while the UK under Starmer invites Islamic oppression. It's called shooting yourselves in the foot, right? And Blue Sapphire says, are they chanting in Persian? Yeah. Yeah, one of the interesting things about what's going on in Iran with the culture is that when Islam took over, they failed to actually convert everybody in that sense. They failed to change the heritage, right? So there were a number of people, it's even back in the day, we're talking about hundreds of years ago, when Muhammad's army basically came to Iran, and there were poets, including Ferdowsi and those guys who literally started writing books and poems to preserve the Persian language. Despite that, over the few centuries, the Persian language became a little bit mixed with certain Arabic words. It didn't become Arabic, but certain words. So we've had many examples. I mean, including, for example, in English you say surprise, or in French surprise. In Iran, actually, they say merci, like merci in French. So that sort of mixture of certain words. But over the last few years, the younger generation, there's a massive push and effort to no longer use Arabic words. They didn't really consider them as Arabic words, it's just words, but they are now trying to use more historic and traditional Persian words, even though it kind of like now sounds ridiculous because people are not used to it. It's like using the Old English essentially, but that's what they're doing to basically wipe out any sort of evidence of Islam being in Iran at any point. Nancy says prayers for the courageous Aryan Persians and the other Iranians as well, obviously, who want to reclaim their identity. Yeah, I mean, the fight is being led not just by the Persian Iranians, but of course, let's not forget the Kurdish Iranians, massive ethnicity that are still fighting around the borders, and Azaris and all the other ethnicities, the Jewish Iranians as well. These people are very good at fighting back. Now, Peter says, well done, people. Iran, keep it up. And Americans, watch very carefully because you know what to do about Trump. Get shot before he effing wrecks your great country. Trump, stand up. Trump is literally making America great again. How is he wrecking the country? Seriously. Oh dear. I love the courage of the youth of Iran standing up to dictators. Yes, absolutely. Freedom and democracy. Let's hope that the good secular people of Iran, the Persians and Turkey can rid themselves of the murderous, corrupt regimes. I'm very much excited about what's happening in Turkey. I mean, it's going to be very hard for the Turks to be able to actually get rid of Erdogan. The guy is protected, let's just say. But having said that, there is definitely hope because the things that are escalating in Turkey is on a whole new level. As I said, we're going to come back later and actually give you guys the latest update on what's going on in Istanbul and Ankara and other places because the people of Turkey are not giving up. If you saw our updates last night, that was just the beginning. The protests are carrying on. Orc Hunter says, this new year in Iran is the year of the monkey mullah. It brings the great fortune to the Persian people when the monkey mullahs meet their 72 goats. Yes, monkey mullahs. Monkey mullahs. That's an insult to monkeys. Come on. Anyway. People are responding to Peter. April says, Peter needs common sense. I know. These liberals. Oh, the liberals. Crazy times. Bill says, the same happened to the English when we fell to the Roman Church. We've never recovered. Our true church is the Holy Orthodox Church. I mean, there are a lot of good Orthodox people, and they felt that way. It's not the reality, but I mean, it's like, for example, the Anglicans would say one of the best things that happened was us leaving church, as in Vatican, right? Catholics would say, well, this country was built on Catholic Church from the beginning, Roman Empire and everything else. But now Orthodox are saying, no, it was ours first. The Romans took over, whether you like it or not. So it is what it is. But then obviously Henry changed everything. Steve says jihad fails in Iran, it fails worldwide. Oh yeah, I mean, Islam and that radical ideology is not going to win. It's going to wreck the world, but it's not going to win. Thank you, Joe, for your super sticker. Thomas Sowell. It's not the real Thomas Sowell, by the way. Saying Peter needs to stop watching the news. I know. Why would you watch mainstream news when you can watch 2C TV instead? Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And if you want to get more out of this channel, you know what? You can join our independent platform, 2C TV Plus. Yes, uncensored, unfiltered, and we have all the documentaries, series, and chat forum. You can join by going on 2c.tv or find the link in the description. Support the channel, support the movement, and get more out of this channel. I'm Maya 2C, and we are the media.